second graders. It's Mrs. Kessler. I wanted to show you a few things about our math lesson that we're going to be doing today. First, I'm going to review with you some fractions. So remember how we did this in class? We took our one whole piece and we put on some of the other shapes. So when we were able to put on two of the red blocks, it shows that it covers 1/2 of our yellow hexagon. So if I remove one of these, you can see 1/2 of it showing. So this shape represents 1/2. When we use the blue parallelograms, we were able to put 3 on. So if we were able to fit 3 pieces on, each piece of the blue parallelogram is 1/3 of our yellow hexagon. And then last we did the green triangles. So when we put the green triangles on, do you remember how many it took? It took 6. So each one of these green triangles is 1/6 of that whole shape. Okay, so that's our fraction review. Now we're going to talk about mixed numbers. So this number and this number are mixed numbers. And the reason they're mixed numbers is because it has a whole number and a fraction. So when you read a number like this, you would say 3 and 1/2. So you read the whole number, say and then read your fraction. So you would read this mixed number as 2 and 1/4. And this one is 1 and 1/3, 1 and 3/4. So that's how you read mixed numbers. Now let's talk about mixed numbers. So if we were going to look at this top row and we were going to pretend that those are pizzas, and our class ate 3 and 1/2 pizzas, to color that in, it would look like this. You would color in 3 whole pizzas for the whole number, and then we would have to divide this into a half. So it doesn't matter which way you do as long as it's really 1/2, like we've talked about before in class. You're going to color 1/2 of that pizza. So for 3 and 1/2, it would look like this, 3 holes and a half of a pizza. So if we were going to look at these circles and we called those pies, and let's say that the teachers ate 2 and 1/4 pies, it would look like this. We would color in 2 whole pies. And then we have to divide this because our denominator is a 4, that means we have to have 4 equal parts. We need to divide this pie into 4 equal parts. So we would divide it like that into 4 equal parts, and then we would color 1 out of 4 equal parts for the 1/4. So we have 2 whole pies and 1/4, 2 and 1/4 pies, okay? And then we'll go down here to the brownies. Let's say your family ate 1 and 1/3 brownies. So the whole number is 1, we would color in 1 whole brownie, and then we would have to divide this into thirds. Now think about that. How do you think we can divide that square into thirds? There's not a whole lot of different ways. So you could divide it like this into thirds, or you could divide it horizontally into thirds. We only need to color 1 out of 3 of these sections. So that represents 1 and 1/3 brownies. And then last, we're going to do these circles here. We're going to pretend like those circles are cakes. And let's say your family had a birthday and you were going to share these cakes, and you ate 1 and 3/4 of the cakes. So you would color 1 whole cake for the whole number. And then we have to divide, the denominator is a 4, so we have to have 4 equal parts here. So remember how we did that up there? We're going to divide that into 4 equal parts. That's not very good, is it? Let me fix that. So I'm going to divide that into fourths. And then this time the numerator says we're going to color 3 out of 4. So we have to color 1, 2, 3 sections. So now that represents 1 and 3/4 of that cake. Okay, so now if you need to pause the video, you can. I want you to go get your lesson worksheet 112. It looks like this. So pause the video, go get that, and you'll also need a crayon. And then come back to me when you're ready. So I'm going to take our lesson worksheet 112, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So you want to put your name on there first, And then we're going to go ahead and start with number 1. So number 1 says to color 2 1/2 squares. So out of all of these squares, see if you can figure out how you're going to color 2 1/2 squares. So let's start with our whole number. We're going to color 2 whole squares, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as you get it mostly filled in. And then we have to divide that into 1/2. So divide your next one into half. Ooh, that's not real straight, is it? And then color 1/2. All right, now try this one. Color 3 1/2 circles. So there's your mixed number, 3 1/2. See if you can color 3 1/2 circles. So how many whole circles will you color? 3, that's right. So you're going to color 3 whole circles. 1, 2, 3. And then our fraction is 1/2. So we have to divide that the next circle into half. So you see how they give us extra? Those are just extra. If we don't need them, we're not going to use them. So divide that into half and then color 1/2, 1 out of 2. Okay, and 4 1/4, color that. Look at your whole number first and color your whole pieces, and then your fraction next. I'm going to go ahead and start on my whole pieces while you're doing yours. Okay, so there's my 4 whole pieces, and our fraction is 1/4. So because our denominator is a 4, that means we have to divide this one into 4 equal parts. So you can do that this way. You could have done it with a diagonal line either way, or you can even do it, let me show you up here. You could have even done it like this, if you get those even. That, or you can turn them vertically too. So I'm going to do mine like this, and then I'm going to color 1 out of 4, or 1/4. So that shows 4 1/4 colored. Okay, your next one is color 1 3/4. So that won't be too hard. We just have to do 1 whole. And then our denominator says 4 equal parts. Ooh, I'm not real even, am I? Try to make it as even as you can. 4 equal parts, and we're going to color 3 out of 4. So 1, 2, 3. All right. All right, the next part says we're supposed to write a mixed number to show how much is shaded. So go ahead and count up how many whole pieces you have there. And that's okay. I can use a crayon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So did you guys get 5 wholes? So we're going to write 5 for our whole number. Write that number pretty big. And then look at what your fraction would be. 1 out of the 4 pieces are shaded, so it would be 1/4. So then your fraction should be as tall as your whole number. So your whole number and then your fraction is that same height. I'm going to switch to pencil so I can write a little neater. So look at number 6. Count your whole pieces. There are 3 whole pieces. And look at your fraction. 1 out of the 2 pieces are shaded, so that's 1/2. So it should be 3 1/2 is your mixed number. Okay, go to number 7, count your whole pieces and write it. And then look at your fraction piece. How many are colored out of how many total pieces? So if you got 4 2/3, you are correct. Try this last one. How many whole pieces? And then how many of the fraction pieces? So if you got 2 3 out of 4, or 2 3/4, then that's your whole number, or that's your mixed number. All right, guys, now you can take your lesson paper for the week and go ahead and work on the lessons on lesson number 112. Have a good day.